Hello, welcome to my reselling channel, Flippin Hippos. I'm Star. Today is Wednesday, and I like to do motivational or organization videos on Wednesday. And today is going to be a whole heck of a lot of motivation. Today, I want to talk to everybody who feels behind. And that probably includes me a lot of the time. Why do we always feel like we're so behind? We always feel like we're behind on listing. Our death pile is too big and we need to tackle it. We're behind on our cross listing or scheduling listings out, behind on social media content, behind on ordering shipping supplies and staying on top of that, or just in general, behind on goals. The truth is that reselling is one of those businesses where there is always something left to do. It does not matter how productive of a day you have, how many things you check off your to-do list. There is always something to do in this business. It just is. We wear so many hats and there are so many complex parts that come together to make everything work. It's not just selling on eBay and shipping. There's a lot more to our jobs than that. And so there's always going to feel like there's something left to do. If you wait until everything is caught up to feel successful, you're never going to feel successful, ever. You're always going to feel behind and you're always going to feel like you're failing. So instead of measuring yourself against an impossible finish line, you can measure your success as how many items you've listed, how many drafts you've completed. Did you cross-post to different platforms today? Did you make a dent in the death pile? Did you answer customers' questions? Did you take some photographs? Tiny milestones, little tiny things on your to-do list. Measure the tasks that you're actually completing each day and the visual success that you can see. I can see that I listed these items. I can see that my death pile is smaller. I can see that I remembered to order shipping supplies. I can see that I did my accounting. I measured those instead of just trying to get everything done. That's an impossible finish line. Because again, if you are never going to feel success until everything's caught up, you're never going to feel success because there is no finish line. It does not exist. We just have to go along the track a little bit each day and measure our success like that. As soon as we finish one task, you know another one appears. It's just the nature of this business. And also, make sure that you're comparing yourself and to yesterday and not someone else. In fact, I have recently done a whole video on why you should never compare yourself to anyone else. And I'm going to have it come up at the end. If you haven't watched it, please do. Do yourself that favor. And do yourself to keep that in your head. You should always compare yourself to yesterday, not anybody else. It's easy to watch other resellers list 100 items a day or buy truckloads of inventory, run multiple live shows, and post constantly on social media. What you don't see is the behind the scenes. Do they have help? Do they have a lot of experience with this? Do they work long and grueling hours and never take a break? Do they have different circumstances than you? Do they have this as their full-time job, whereas this is your part-time job? You don't see everybody's life. You don't see everybody's behind the scenes. And your situation is always going to be different from everyone else. We are all unique people and unique resellers and have unique businesses. And we will never, ever align to be perfectly like another reseller. It's fine to learn from other resellers. In fact, it's pretty great to be part of the community and surround yourself with others and constantly learn and see how other people do things and pull from that what you can use for yourself. But don't try to be someone else or compare yourself constantly to someone else. Take what you can learn, take what you can use, and apply it to your own very unique life. The only comparison that actually matters is, are you making progress to where you were yesterday, last week, last month, or last year? Progress counts even when it feels small. I'm going to repeat that because it's important. Progress counts even when it feels small. Sometimes success can just look like listing 5 items, photographing a big pile of inventory, organizing a shelf, sending offers, or delisting and relisting. All of those small tasks do add up, and they should all be part of your daily routine. And each step and each one that you do is a success. And it has to count as a success. And you need to count it as progress, and you need to reward yourself and realize that you're making these steps that are building the foundation for a very solid, successful business. Did you know that most successful reselling businesses are actually built on boring, consistent work? Boring, consistent work done every day, day after day, over a long period of time. That is how you build a successful business. Your death pile is not a measure of your worth. So having more inventory doesn't necessarily make you more successful than someone who doesn't. It's just a different business model. Some people like to buy huge bulk buys or truckloads or go on Whatnot and buy a bunch. And some people like to go to the thrift store every day and curate 10 items to bring home and list. Having the big death pile isn't a measure of success. It's only just a different business model. And also, having a bunch of unlisted inventory doesn't mean you're lazy. It probably just means you're overbuying. And maybe you need to take a step back and stop sourcing for a little while you work on the pile. But the pile doesn't have to make you feel overwhelmed or like you're behind or like you're lazy or that you're failing or even that you're bad at reselling. It means that, number one, you're a reseller. But if it's becoming overwhelming, if your death pile is eating up your entire house and eating up all of the free space in your head and every thought you have all day long, and it's causing you anxiety, then it's probably time to say, hey, let me stop buying for a while I list. But honestly, at the end of the day, every reseller has inventory waiting to be processed. And in all actuality, you should have extra inventory. Most of you are familiar with the story of me getting through my death pile in March of 2020, because that was my goal. I didn't want one anymore. And then the world shut down and COVID happened, and there was nowhere for me to find inventory. I also live in a place where it can get very cold in the winter and the ice and the snow, and you can't get out. A lot of other people have situations, weather and other situations where you just can't get out the source. You never know what's going to happen in the world or in your own life. So you really should have some inventory waiting to be processed. And if it feels like your inventory is overwhelming and big, just focus on making the pile smaller a little bit each day. Remember those tasks every day over and over? Work on your pile every day and just focus on getting it smaller. You're not going to make it disappear overnight. In fact, it didn't get there overnight. It's not going to disappear overnight. And then remember how far you've already come. Think about all of the things you've learned when it comes to shipping. Think about all of the things you've learned when it comes to sales and sending offers and negotiations and the psychology of dealing with buyers. Think about all the things you've learned when it comes to keywords and aesthetics and how to make a listing and build a title. Back to when you first started, I'm sure you've come a very, very, very long way, but we don't see it every day because our heads are down, we're doing the work, we're in the ditches, and we're just so focused that sometimes we forget to look back and see how far we've come. Remember when you first started cross-listing and you were like, whoa, this is a whole new world to me. I'm making more money. I'm making more sales. We've all come so far. We're all still learning every single day. But sometimes when you just feel overwhelmed and beat down, I'm a failure, I'm not going anywhere, the first thing you need to do is ask yourself, are you feeling this way because you're comparing yourself to other people? And if the answer is yes, stop it. I already talked about that a little bit in this video, and I have a whole other video for you on that. And then the second thing is just to remind yourself, look at how far I've come. Look at everything I've learned. Look at how good I am at what I do now compared to the first time I tried to list something and probably lost money shipping it because I didn't know what I was doing. Just think about everything that you have done and how far you've come. And then, again, we're going to come back to consistency, because consistency will always beat intensity. If you sprint for a week, you're going to burn out. If you try to run a marathon every day for 7 days, you're going to burn out. If you walk every day, this is kind of a bad metaphor for someone who's not really an exercise person, but if you're always running, you're going to burn out. If you're walking and taking your time, you're going to not burn out, right? So you want to show up regularly, keep learning, keep listing, always be adapting and pivoting, even when your motivation appears. And remember, this comes back to one of my core principles. Having really good routines in place will always keep you working. When life happens, when you don't feel motivated, good routines will keep you consistently working and putting in the work that you need to do day after day after day to build that successful business. Without good routines, it's very easy to fall off and then feel like you're behind, and then you sprint to catch up, and then you burn out, and it's this whole big, gross, ugly cycle no one wants to be stuck in. So ask yourself, what did I accomplish today? Where did I move forward? What did I do? Not what didn't I finish? At the end of the day, instead of looking at everything you didn't get to and what didn't I finish? What am I behind on? How come everybody else has everything done and I don't? Instead of asking yourself that, what did you do today? How much did you get done? And for a lot of people, it really helps to write these things down. So maybe have a to-do list of everything you want to do and check it off as you go. And you can look and see, oh my gosh, look at how many things I checked off. I really did a lot today. And you can add things too. By the way, that is a secret most people won't tell you. You can make your to-do list, and if you do things today that are not on that to-do list, you can write them and then check them off. Everything you do can be added to that list and checked off as an accomplishment. Just because you did something that wasn't on the list doesn't mean it wasn't an accomplishment that you didn't do. So sometimes adding it to that list and checking it really helps you see the overall picture. And when you sit down at the end of the day and you really think about how many things you did, how much work you put in, most people are actually surprised because they're just looking at everything they didn't do and getting stressed out. But if you sit down and think, oh, I actually listed on 3 platforms today and took 20 photos and whatever you did, when you actually think about it, it's a lot. So give yourself credit. You are not behind. You are running a business where the work is never completely finished. That's just the truth of it. Our work is never finished. So your goal shouldn't be to catch up to some mythical point where everything is done. Your goal should be to keep moving forward, one listing, one shipment, one sale, one buy, one day at a time. And if you do that consistently, you're doing a lot better than you think you are. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down below in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and the like button. Those are the same thing. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and help me feed a hungry hippo. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.